I never imagined I'd be writing something like this, but here I am, scrolling through Reddit and finally deciding to share my story, because honestly, it's been weighing heavy on my chest. I've been a quiet lurker for years, but things have finally reached a point where I feel like I need to hear what others think. So, I'm a 24-year-old woman, the youngest of 3 siblings. My older brother, who's 28, usually stays out of family drama, keeping to himself. Then there's my sister Rachel, 30 years old, the golden child. And I don't use that term lightly. Rachel has always been the star in our family. Straight A's, homecoming queen, Ivy League graduate, a high-profile job right out of school. You name it, she nailed it. My parents have always idolized her. If Rachel so much as sneezed in a different key, they'd call it music. Whatever she wanted, she got, no questions asked. Meanwhile, I was the artsy one, the quiet dreamer. I filled my notebooks with doodles instead of equations, and while I didn't pull off straight A's, I came alive in art class. My parents were supportive in a distant, almost patronizing kind of way. They'd pat my head and say things like, "That's cute," or "Well, as long as you have a backup plan," whenever I talked about becoming a professional illustrator. It was clear they saw my dreams as a phase, not a future. But I didn't give up. I worked tirelessly, juggling multiple part-time jobs, freelancing late into the night, and building my portfolio brick by brick. Every small gig, every side hustle added up. And finally, after years of grinding in silence, I was offered my first solo art show at a well-respected gallery here in the city. No, it's not the Met, but for me, it's everything. This is the moment I've dreamed of. I poured my heart, soul, and savings into this. Every sketch, every canvas, every hour of sleep I gave up. The show is scheduled for August 10th. A date etched into my calendar in bold red for months now. Then came Rachel's big announcement. A few weeks ago, she FaceTimed me, practically glowing. "Guess what?" she beamed. "We finally booked our wedding venue. August 10th. Isn't that perfect?" My stomach dropped. I blinked at her, waiting for her to realize. "Rachel," I said slowly, "that's the day of my art show." She stared blankly, then laughed. Asterisk laughed star. "All right, Mom mentioned something about your little show thing. But I mean, come on, it's a wedding. You'll be there, right?" I felt the wind knocked out of me. I told her gently but firmly that I didn't think I could make it. That night is incredibly important to me. She brushed it off immediately. "Well, it's the only weekend that works for Dan's family, and it's before school starts, so it's easier for guests with kids. You'll figure something out." A few days later, a formal wedding invitation arrived in the mail. Not just inviting me to attend, but asking me to be the maid of honor. I honestly thought it was a joke. But then Rachel called me, full of excitement, saying she couldn't imagine anyone else standing beside her on her big day. And then she said something I'll never forget. "It's so nice to have you doing something important for once." That line, it hit me like a slap. I kept my cool and told her as gently as I could that I couldn't take on that role. I wouldn't even be at the wedding, because I'd be at my show. The line went silent on her end. Then quietly she asked, "Wait, seriously? You're choosing an art exhibit over my wedding?" I responded calmly, "No, I'm choosing the biggest moment of my life over someone else's big day. And you knew that when you picked the date." That's when she lost it. She accused me of being jealous, petty, and selfish, said I was sabotaging her wedding out of spite. And then she went running to our parents, spinning the story in a way that made me sound like the villain. Of course, they took her side. My mom called me dramatic and insisted Rachel didn't mean anything by it. "Art shows come and go," she said, "but weddings are once in a lifetime." Then she added, without irony, "Besides, Rachel's already been engaged twice. This is the first one that actually made it to the altar." My dad took the guilt trip route. "You know your sister doesn't ask for much. This is the one thing she's asking for. Do you really want to miss it over a painting party?" A painting party. That's what he thinks this is. Even my grandma weighed in, telling me how disappointed she was. She reminded me how Rachel had always supported me, which, for the record, she hasn't, and that I should be grateful she wants me involved in her big day. Now I'm drowning in pressure. My parents, my sister, even extended family are making me feel like the villain. My friends are split. Some say it's my dream and I should go for it. Others warn I might regret missing her wedding one day. But here's what keeps replaying in my head. Asterisk, asterisk, Rachel knew asterisk, asterisk. She knew the date of my show. She could have chosen literally any other weekend. But she picked that one. And now I'm the one being painted as selfish. I don't want to be the cause of a family rift, but I am exhausted from constantly being asked to dim my light so Rachel can shine a little brighter. For once in my life, I want to stand tall in my own moment, without apology. So Reddit, am I really the a-hole for choosing my art show over my sister's wedding? Because right now, I just feel alone in this. I can't even begin to explain how much it means to feel seen, truly seen, for the first time in a long time. I haven't made a final decision yet, but honestly, my heart is pulling me toward my art show. For once, I'm letting myself believe that I'm allowed to choose me, and that shift feels liberating. Thank you again to everyone who offered support, advice, empathy, or just kind words. If you've ever grown up feeling like the background character in your own story, you'll understand how powerful it is to finally step into the light. And now, well, here's the update I didn't think I'd be writing so soon. A lot has happened since I shared my story. Your responses gave me the kind of courage I didn't know I was capable of. The kind that makes you sit a little straighter, breathe a little deeper, and finally say, no more. So, after I told Rachel that I wouldn't be her maid of honor, and that I'd be attending my art show instead, she spiraled. Really spiraled. What started as a private disagreement exploded into a full-blown family group chat storm. She sent out long, furious messages accusing me of being selfish, petty, and vindictive. According to her, I was intentionally sabotaging the most important day of her life because I couldn't handle someone else getting attention. I wish I were exaggerating. Then came the crown jewel of her meltdown, a text that read, asterisk, if you can't put your bitterness aside for one day, then maybe I need to rethink your role in my life altogether. Asterisk. That one hurt. Deeply. Because yeah, we've had our differences, plenty of them, but we're sisters. At least, I thought we were. I never imagined she'd cut me off over this. And it wasn't just the words, it was the ease with which she said them, like I was disposable. I screenshotted the message and sent it to our mom, half hoping she'd see the damage for what it was. Her response? Asterisk, she stressed. Don't take it personally. Asterisk, no acknowledgement of the cruelty. No, let's talk this out. Just another get-out-of-consequences card handed to Rachel, like always. And in that moment, something inside me didn't just break, it shifted. Not in an explosive, screaming into a pillow kind of way. No, it was quiet, centered, like the final puzzle piece clicking into place. This is who they are. This is how they see me. And I realized, I'm done shrinking myself just to fit into someone else's picture-perfect frame. So I made a decision. Not only would I step back from the maid of honor role, but I wouldn't be attending the wedding at all. I sent a formal RSVP declining the invitation. Then I wrote Rachel a short message wishing her a beautiful day and letting her know I'd be spending mine surrounded by something just as sacred to me, my artwork, and the people who truly value what I bring into this world. Her reply? Absolutely nothing. Not a single word. Not even a snarky emoji. Since then, it's been tense, unsurprisingly. My mom keeps texting me things like, asterisk, I hope you two can find your way back to each other. Family is forever. Asterisk, which feels incredibly hollow considering no one has acknowledged the hurt Rachel caused. It's all guilt and emotional bargaining, without any actual accountability. But here's where the story starts to brighten. The gallery? They're over the moon that I'm all in. We're working on beautiful promo materials. My best friend has stepped in to help plan the reception. RSVPs are rolling in from fellow artists, collectors, old mentors. Even a local arts blog reached out to do an interview. I've been smiling so much lately my cheeks actually hurt. For the first time in my life, I said, asterisk, no. My thing matters too. Asterisk. And this time I didn't back down. It's scary, yes. But it's also the most empowered I've ever felt. Standing up for myself has always been difficult, especially in a family that conditioned me to believe that speaking up was the same as starting a fight. But now I see that setting boundaries isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. And just to clear up a few questions I've gotten, no, I'm not skipping the wedding to get revenge. This isn't spite. This is self-preservation. I don't feel welcome there. And I'm not going to put on a fake smile and pretend everything's fine, while pretending my dreams are nothing more than a cute hobby. Would I be open to reconciling someday? Sure. But only if Rachel is willing to genuinely acknowledge how deeply she hurt me and make an effort to rebuild our relationship with honesty and respect. I won't chase her. I won't beg to be treated like I matter. Am I sad? Of course I am. This isn't how I wanted things to go. But I'm also so excited for August 10th. My work, my passion, is finally getting its moment in the spotlight. And for the first time, so am I. If anyone's interested, I'd love to share photos from the show once it happens. Until then, I'm taking it all one brushstroke at a time. Thank you, truly, for reminding me that it's okay to take up space.